thanks for joining us for another edition of Weekend Winners, proudly brought to you by One Equine for the equine athlete. And sounding like a broken record, we've got a great card coming our way Saturday night at Albion Park. 9 races in total, feature night of racing as well. We get underway at 5:36. The main race, the listed classic, that's the Hour Over and Over Trotters Marathon, 3,157 metres. Standing start conditions there for the Trotters. That's the main race. And we've also got the Lucini Memorial coming up as race number 2. That's the Band 4, Band 2 race, and that promises to be an exciting contest. Turn It Up, he drops back in grade. Delhi Rose stepping up in grade. And then you've got a few others in there that are certainly going to make it very interesting. And guess what? Guess who's back at Albion Park this Saturday night? Best pacer in the country, Leap to Fame. Last starter runner-up in the Miracle Mile behind Don Hugo. He's getting set for that race in New Zealand, the Cambridge feature on April 4. So he's going to have a spin around at Albion Park this Saturday night. And the best mare in Queensland, she's on the back up as well, Chinchilla. So brave first up last week. She goes around in the Mares Open. So it's a good program this Saturday night. There is certainly something for everyone. In this edition of Weekend Winners, I'm going to chat with Adam Sanderson and Matty Elkins. Adam Sanderson jumps in the hot seat to go through his drives on Saturday night. Good night of racing coming our way as well. And he's with us now. Adam, always appreciate the time.
No worries, Chris.
Throw your arms around me. He was first up last week. He was terrific. That was the race won by Love Bite. You had a bad draw. He was forced to do plenty of work, and it was fast time. This, on paper, probably looks pretty good here. Barrier 1, second up a mile.
Yeah, obviously he's fresh up last week, and he raced, terrific. I thought his run was, outstanding. So obviously he should derive a lot of benefit for that, and he should be hard to beat.
What about gate 1 though? He just doesn't look like he's got any sort of early speed, in particular when he draws barrier 1, which seems strange saying that, but he just seems to walk off the arm.
Yeah, he does. It's I don't know what it is. As I say, on paper it looks good, but it's not good for him for some reason. But hopefully we can get him out as good as we can, and but it's just going to be wait and see after that first 50.
Okay, so saying that then, and looking at this field, do you think you can hold leaders back? Do you think you'll be 3 fence, maybe even 4 fence?
Yeah, no, honestly, your guess is as good as mine. He is slowly getting a little bit better, but I'm hoping to be 3 fence at best, I'd say.
Okay, if you are forced to use him early and he sort of shows a little bit more get up and go early, will that sort of take the sting out of his finishing burst?
No, I don't think so. I think, if somehow we were to find, leaders back or even if we get a bit of luck from 3 fence, I'm sure he's the one to beat. He's quite a nice horse and quite progressive.
Okay. This is going to be a good drive for you then.
Yeah, it's going to, it might look bad at some stages, and hopefully it looks good late.
Yeah, but he was terrific first up last week, and obviously, the signs are there that a good campaign is in front of him.
Yeah, I think he's quite a nice horse. He's still learning, and he's honest, and he's got good speed, and hopefully, as I say, whatever he does on Saturday, he's just going to keep improving.
Yeah, he just came across from New Zealand on a tight mark, didn't he?
Yeah, terrible. This rating system, I don't know how it worked, but it didn't work out good for him at all.
Yeah, that's for sure. What about in race 2? His stablemate Lanyai looks to be going okay, but this draw looks really ordinary on paper. Gate 4, you've got a stack of speed to your inside. What were your thoughts? Yeah,
I thought his run was terrific last week against a free-for-all, but it's probably not too much less of a sort of mini free-for-all on Saturday. So the gate's awkward, and we're just going to have to obviously drive him for luck, and hopefully we get some.
Do you sort of show any speed, or do you just grab up and go straight back?
No, I don't think there's any point. He can just slide across and hopefully get in the running line or even fence, and that's his best way. He'll finish off strong.
Okay, we've got a couple of early scratchings in that race. 8 and 9, we always have faith. Riley Rainbow. Does that help your cause a little bit?
I think so. Just not as many runners off that second line, so hopefully we can just posse straight across and not end up too far back.
All right, so we'll keep following him, Lanyai.
Yeah, he's racing well, so hopefully any time he gets back in grade, he'll be hard to beat.
All right. Feature race on Saturday night is the listed Hour Over and Over Trotters Marathon. Hide and Seek. You know this horse really well. He's been good of late. Last time out, he was unbelievable given what he did there at the start. How does he sort of fit into this race in your opinion?
Yeah, obviously he's one of the top contenders. Obviously, he had a good trial Tuesday, which hopefully take that little bit of edge off him, and he should be all going well, manners and everything. He'll be hard to beat.
He strung together 4 straight victories before he went down to Sydney for that race down there. Did you sort of walk away that night more frustrated or more hopeful that, the ability's still there? He's just got to work himself out with the manners.
Yeah, obviously the ability's always been there. It's just, it's a frustration thing. But obviously that was his first trip away, and apart from the start, he done everything pretty well. And all going well. Touch wood, he's been pretty good from the stand his last few, and obviously he stepped good on Tuesday in the trial. So fingers crossed he should be good.
Was he ever off the bridle in that trial on Tuesday?
No, he was strong. It's just what he needed. Unfortunately, I would have liked to have sort of a run going into Saturday night. A nice race, but especially over the 2 mile. But we couldn't. So that trial was next best thing, and that should hold him in good stead. So it should top him off just nicely.
So with that trial on Tuesday, was it more about just getting him that little bit of extra practice there at the start, or actually giving him a run?
Bit of both, and just taking that little bit of edge off him. He's quite a handful, and so we don't really need to be going into 2 mile and wasting that energy. So just hopefully it knocked that little bit of top off him, and should hold him in good stead.
Distance is not going to be a problem for him, surely.
No, I think if he brings his A game, he'll see it out as probably as good as any of them.
Okay, let's go to the back end of the program. Couple of mares races that we've got to focus on. LA Mistress goes around in race 8 for Jason Carkeech. She's drawn out in 6. Now she's been teasing me for a little while, but has she been a little disappointing?
Yeah, she's hit and miss. She's quite a cantankerous thing. She obviously forms up and down, and that's obviously why. But if she brings her A game, there's definitely a race in her soon.
Yeah, she's been running some decent races, and at the start of this campaign, one race in particular was really good. So is she just one that you've got to go back and just ride for luck?
Yeah, that's her go. But for some reason, the worse run she has, the better she goes, which is quite annoying. But as I say, just keep an eye on her.
All right, and the mares race, the last race, Sky Blue Gate 1. Does that give her a good shot?
Yeah, obviously, it's a nice even bunch of fillies, so hopefully the one draw helps, and she's building into good fitness. So if she brings her A game, she's a top 3 chance.
Okay, early speed for her. Is she okay?
Yeah, she gets out good enough. Just you can't use too much, otherwise she doesn't finish off. So hopefully we can just find a positive pretty quickly.
All right, which one are we most looking forward to?
If Hide and Seek brings his A game, I think he's definitely the one to beat.
Okay, race 4, number 9. Adam, as always, really appreciate the time, and we'll see you trackside.
Lovely, thanks, Chris.
Matty Elkins is now joining us to go through his book of drives on Saturday night, and he's in the hot seat. Matty, appreciate the time.
No worries, Chris.
We start with race 1, number 10, Congo Line. He was terrific last time out, finishing second. The draw on Saturday night probably doesn't look kind on paper, but are you thrilled with the way he's going?
Yeah, his form this season's been pretty good. Sort of don't think he's put in a bad run. He just hasn't landed on the board yet this season. He's been a runner-up a few times and run some good races, just struggling for that knockout punch at the moment.
Okay, that last start effort when he finished second, what was the most pleasing part for you there? The fact that he was hitting the line, or the fact that he was easily holding off a horse like Air Express?
Yeah, a bit of both, to be honest. You take the winner out and he wins the race pretty well. I didn't drive him there Friday, so watching the replay, and once I saw on the replay that Air Express had his helmet and followed him up and sort of peeled off his back and didn't make any ground, he couldn't do any more himself, and I was pretty happy with that.
Okay, so this is going to be an interesting race here for a number of reasons on Saturday night. When you look at that front row draw, key horse or query horse is Quaddy VC. Throw your arms around me, not suited by barrier 1. Do you think this is going to generate a heap of early speed?
Yeah, not sure. It's hard to sort of line up Quaddy VC's gate speed. Its form looks pretty good on paper, and if it does get across pretty early, I can't see much more pressure being applied in the race, which is bad news if we're out the back. But hopefully a couple there can keep their toes under it and make it work hard, or something does sort of roll up the sleeves and keep the pressure genuine. Okay,
ideally, where would you like to be positioned with Congo Line at the half or at the 600?
To be honest with you, positions doesn't sort of worry me with Congo Line. A good draw is not really good for him. His best draws are probably 2, 9 and 10, so it's not a bad draw. What he needs is a good first half and sort of an opportunity to put himself into the race down the back, sort of getting by the 600.
Yeah, but he's a genuine top 4 chance here, isn't he?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Take out Quaddy VC and all those horses are pretty on par, I think. I don't think there's a standout in that field. You got a horse like Throw Your Arms Around Me's going well, Storm Tide going well, Miracle Moose going well. But yeah, there's probably no standout in that without quad VC.
Yeah, I think that's a fair call there. So he's a live chance Congo line. What about in race 2? This is the Luceni Memorial. It's an interesting race. Band 4, Band 2. Turn It Up drops significantly in grade. Draws gate 1. You've got Delhi Rose flying in 3. You're on racing time first up and you're drawn out. Not ideal, is it?
No, the draws hasn't been kind to us there.
So what do you do with him from gate 6? Do you sort of have a look early, or are you just going straight back?
Look, to be honest with you, it's a funny race to line up. You got some horses like Turn It Up dropping back from free-for-all grade, and a horse like Brados Lad, and you also have a few horses like Racing Time, Delhi Row, sort of taking a little jump in class. But you know, the trainer Charlie Martin, he really likes this guy, and after his last win, he done the right thing by him and give him a break and brought him up. And you know, his 2 trials have been pretty good, so you know he's going to have to be good from out there. But I think the horse will be forward enough.
His most recent trial, he won that, and he went good time, 53 and change. You drove him. Did he give you a good feel?
To be honest, he did, but it was a different feel. I'd only sort of driven him the once in a race, and he got pretty grabby and pretty keen in the run. And sort of when he lobbed in front there in the trial, I don't think he really knew what he was doing. He was very relaxed and casual and hard to switch on. And then as soon as the horse off his back pulled out, he just switched in over gear and flicked the ears back. And I think that last quarter might have been 26.6, and it felt like he could have kept going another half lap.
He sort of looked like he was, you know, done there at the top of the straight when you cornered in that trial. But to his credit, he just pinned the ears back and he just kept finding.
Yeah, I don't think the horse, although he got home in 26.6, I don't think he has a brilliant turn of foot. I think he is a staying type horse, and sort of when he was so casual, it sort of pinged up to him, the horse on his back, and before he realised, but then once he saw it there, he really knuckled down and was never going to let it pass.
This will be run at a genuine tempo, surely, over the middle distance trip. Surely you get a bit of tempo.
Yeah, I think so. Hopefully we're not the ones doing too much of the work, but you know, it's a great field and there's sort of no standout, I don't think. They're all racing well, and you know, when surprise money goes up on these races on a Saturday night, it brings together good fields.
Yeah. Race number 3, keen to get your thoughts here on Moops. This guy for mine, low flying. His sectionals of late have been super. A little bit sticky the draw here on Saturday night. Are you happy with the way he's going?
Yeah, I think horse trainer, driver and owner has been a bit disappointed with his draws lately, so we finally get in out of the car park and we'll take barrier 3, I think.
Okay. Early speed. He's not... Well, where does he sit with early speed?
That's a good question. He's drawn 6 or 7 every start in Queensland, bar 1 barrier 8, and he come to Redcliffe here one day and drew 4 and floated off handy enough without being brilliant, but you know, we didn't really ask him that day either, and I do think if we ask him off the gate, there will be some there.
Well, how do you gauge those 2 horses to your inside? You know them well. My Rocky Romance Commodore, Jujon. They're not blistering off the gate, so if he does have that, you know, early acceleration, could be a good thing for you here.
Yeah, it is hard to line up. You know, my guy hasn't had to run the first quarter yet. Rocky Romance gets out, and Commodore, it loves to lead too. It sort of parked me there the other week. So, but I think one thing in our favour this week, we've got 2 horses to outside, Collected Diamond, Betting Origin, that I'd say would drive forward, and maybe we just create our pressure that way.
Okay, his past 2 runs, unplays, but as I said, sectionally he couldn't have done any more. So he's just going along really well.
Yeah, you know, you watch his last 2 on the eye and you think he's a little bit plain, and you have a look at the sectionals and they're the best in the race by some distance. So, you know, he hasn't had much go his way. He's been back last in some slowly run races or extremely fast. So, you know, I think we get a chance to drive him a little bit different this week, and I think that's our best shot.
Okay, overall his record really good. Is there a chance that there could be a little bit more still to come with Moops, or do you think you've got the best out of him so far?
No, look, when he led and won here at Redcliffe, I think he sort of got home in a high 55 last half, plugs in untouched. And, you know, a few weeks ago I did think he'd win the band 5 pretty quickly and keep going through his grades. But, you know, I think he's been a victim of barrier draws lately, and I'd love to get him on the front end at Albion Park and see what he can do. Okay,
well, that's Moops. What about race 4? This is the feature, the listed hour over and over Trotters Marathon. Correct me if I'm wrong, you've won a Trotters Marathon previously?
Yeah, I have. Even
CK
trained
Spur?
it too.
Yeah. So you're driving My Ultimate Eddie in the 2025 edition. He'll run the trip. There's no question about that. How does he sort of fit in here on Saturday night, in your opinion?
Yeah, it's pretty hard to line him up again. Obviously, it's a pretty strong race, and any number of them horses could win that. That's a cracking field. But, you know, I drove him there a couple of runs ago, the first time I drove him, and he sat outside Golden Sunset and didn't get beaten far and done all the hard work in a fast last half as well. And I was actually absolutely thrilled with his run that day. But since then, he hasn't quite trotted as well, and he made a break his last start, but it has been a while between runs. So, you know, it's obviously a hard race to win, but if he goes like he did that one day I drove him with outside Golden Sunset, I'm sure he could bob up somewhere.
All right. It is a deep field. It's a cracking field, actually, for the Trotters Marathon this year in 2025. Do you think there's a few here that might be a little susceptible at the trip?
Yeah, it's hard to know. You know, we don't run over it enough to really find out, but I think the quality in this field takes horses a long way, and they all should be right.
All right. Race 7. You're driving Madrigal. Drawn gate 1. You've got to contend with Chinchilla here. Madrigal, can she run top 3?
Yeah, it's a race we're all driving for second for. You know, she's been going well, Madrigal. She sort of races here, there, and everywhere a little bit, but, you know, she is going well, and she's run some good races in their mares races of late. Her key to run top 3 is probably hold a couple early and only be 3 fence, I'd say.
It's not a super fast front line, though, is it?
No, it's really not. I think Dwyer's horse that Lane's driving is probably the quickest off the front.
Yeah, Diamond Shoes.
Diamond Shoes, yeah, that's it. If we could hold up and just be behind it and Chinchilla, I'd say she could run third.
Yeah, so that's a good thing for you. And the fact that it's over 2,138 metres, it's going to be a really quick last half.
Yeah, it looks like, you know, Chinchilla rolls to the front eventually, and I'd say they just control it, and it'll be pretty slippery on the way home. So 3 fence would be a great spot.
All right. Which drive are you most looking forward to?
Moops this week.
Okay, race 3, number 3, Moops. We'll follow him with good confidence. Appreciate the time. We'll see you trackside.
No worries. Thank you.
As always, a big thanks to our 2 drivers giving up their time and insights ahead of the weekend. Matty Elkins, Adam Sanderson. We wish them the very best of luck. Time now for a good thing on this program. We're going to go right to the middle of the card. Race 5, number 5, Air Express. This starts the main quaddie on Saturday night. This guy is now ready. He's had the 2 runs back this preparation. They've both been at the midweeks. He steps back to Saturday night level, and they've found the right race for him. Race 5, number 5, Air Express. We're going to mark him as the best bet on the program. So right in the middle of the card, race 5, number 5. If you are gambling this weekend, please do so responsibly. Like I said at the outset, it's a good card. 9 races. The Trotters Marathon is the feature. That's for our over and over. We get underway at 5:36. We'll see you trackside.